are hoax.
All right. In fact, stay with us, Anshul. I'm also joined by Akash, who's currently stationed outside the DTEA Senior Secondary School in Delhi. Akash, do share with us the kind of facts that have emerged so far, because remember, the Delhi Police Special Cell is looking into this. We're also learning that perhaps this email could be traced to one person who is behind this hoax call of over 60 schools.
Have been informed that you need to come to the school and take your children home. I'll try to talk to some parents as well. सर क्या नाम है आपका और आपको भी फोन आया स्कूल से क्या बताया गया बच्चों को पिक कर लो कौन सी क्लास में आपका बच्चा पढ़ता फर्स्ट क्लास में पढ़ता है तो अभी कुछ बताया कि क्यों पिक कर लो कोई कॉल वगैरह आई है मैसेज आया मैसेज में क्या लिखा हुआ था और एकदम से अब्रप्टली छुट्टी कर दिया मैं सर आपको भी फोन आया था स्कूल से All right, so parents have received these calls, and in fact, more than 60 schools in the national capital, as our colleague Anshul is reporting, have received such calls. In fact, I am showing you these visuals from DTA Senior Secondary School that is on Mandir Marg in the central Delhi. This is one school that has announced that, students should go to their home as soon as possible, and also teachers are somewhere coordinating as of now with the parents. Parents have been asked to take their kids back to their home. We are still not sure if this is the school which has also received the call or email, but definitely they have informed the parents that they need to take their kids back to their home.
Akash, in fact, schools across Delhi and Noida also, in fact, as a parent, even I have received messages from my child's school urging us to, in fact, remain calm and not panic. Has there been a word sent out by the Delhi police to all parents? All right, we'll try and reconnect with Akash. Let's quickly go across to Anshul. Anshul, what is the word being sent out by the Delhi police so far for the parents?
So yes, the Delhi police is trying to make sure that there is calm that remains amongst the people, and that is the message that is being given out from the top brass of the Delhi police itself, where they are saying that there is no need to panic at this point in time, because since morning the calls are coming, evacuation SOPs are being followed, but till now nothing has been found, and that is the reason why they are requesting the parents and the teachers to not panic in this situation, because at this point in time it seems like that this could be a hoax email that has been sent out, because nothing has been found till now. More than 80 schools now, we are being told, have reported that they have received such emails from the person who has sent this bulk email out. So definitely there are a lot of schools. The number of schools is very, very high, and hence it is going to take a lot of time for the police to make sure that each and every school is looked into, each and every school is checked, and then then future course of action could be taken. But the message from the Delhi police is very, very clear that people should not panic, parents should not panic, because at this point in time, even as more than 80 schools have now reported, nothing has been found in any of these schools out here in national capital, and hence the request, and this is something that we would also like to appeal to our viewers, that they should not panic at this point in time, because yes, this is a massive operation that has been launched. 80 schools are being searched simultaneously by the Delhi police, which means that there is a lot of staff that is already involved in making sure that the children are safe and secure, and hence the request is that parents and the faculty teachers should not panic at this point in time, because this could be a hoax email that has been sent out. Till now, nothing has been found
Anshul,
out.
In fact, I'm going to request you to continue staying with us. We are getting in breaking inputs right now. The Delhi Lieutenant Governor has posted on platform X the fact that he's spoken to the police commissioner and sought a detailed report into the bomb threats at the schools in Delhi and NCR. In fact, the Delhi LG has gone on to say that I've directed the Delhi police to carry out a thorough search in school premises, identify the various culprits, and ensure there are no lapses. So not just the Delhi police, the school authorities, but also the LG looking into this matter. Personally, let's quickly go back to Anshul. Anshul, the instructions are very crystal clear from the Delhi LG, but what stands out is his emphasis on how, despite the suspicion that this could be a hoax call, they can actually leave no stone unturned when it comes to, in fact, carrying out those security checks in the schools.
Well, definitely safety and security of children is something that is the topmost priority of not only the Delhi administration, but also of the Delhi police. And that is the reason why they cannot afford to leave any stone unturned in making sure that the children are safe and nothing untoward happens with them. And that is the reason why we are seeing that such a massive operation has been launched by the Delhi police. Each and every school is being checked into, bomb disposal squads, Delhi fire services squad, sniffer dogs, all of them, the canine squads of the BDS have also been deployed on the ground, making sure that it is up to 100%, making sure that they are 100% sure that there is nothing inside these schools. And that is the reason why we are constantly hearing from top sources within the Delhi police that the message that they are trying to give out to the people is that they should not panic at this point in time, because more than 80 schools have already reported that they have received this email. The search operation in several of these schools have come to an end. Nothing has been found in those schools, and that is something that is giving confidence to the Delhi police that this could actually be a hoax email. But even if it is a hoax email, until and unless each and every school is checked to the T, there is no stone that could be left unturned by the Delhi police and the administration, and that is what we are seeing happening on the ground and from the police is that the parents should not panic at this point in time. The schools that are evacuating, they should evacuate following the SOPs that are already in place when such a situation arises, and through that SOP, students should be sent back. No panic should happen. It remains to be seen eventually how quickly can the evacuation process come to an end across schools, and also how quickly can the Delhi police now track down the person who has sent this email out, because remember, it is a very difficult task, and that is the reason why the special cell who specializes in tracking down terrorists and gangsters, that department of the Delhi police, that unit of the Delhi police has been given the responsibility to track down the person who has sent this email out. The IP address is masked, VPN has been used. It is going to be difficult, but definitely not impossible. So yes, it remains to be seen how quickly can that person be taken into custody by the police.
Very interesting point being made by Anshul over there, that the Delhi police special cell, which in fact specializes in all these tracking of these kind of cyber crimes, has been roped in, and do expect some information to surface by the end of the day. In fact, and panic is very much understandable, because remember, there's several big schools, not just in Delhi, but even in Noida and Dwarka, which have received that email. And that's why the bomb squad and various other administrative forces have also been brought in. In fact, we also have a reaction coming in from Mr. Atul Garg, who's the DFS of the Delhi Fire Services. He's the chief. Let's also listen in to what he has to say.
है कि जी यहाँ पे बॉम्ब थ्रेट का कॉल है और हमने सभी जगह को अटेंड किया, सभी जगह भेजिए, पर कुछ स्कूलों से गाड़ियाँ वापस भी आना शुरू हो गए कि ये हॉक्स कॉल था, छोटे स्कूल थे, यहाँ उन्होंने देख लिया है। मुझे लगता है कि ये सारी कॉल जो है हॉक्स ही निकलेंगे।
सर, काफी शायद लग रहा है सर कि पैनिक फैलाने के लिए ये किया गया है। तो कितनी गाड़ियां, अगर फिगर की बात की जाए तो दिल्ली में निकली सुबह से, तो अगर थोड़ा डिटेल बताएं।
ये मैंने देखिए हर कॉल को अटेंड किया गया, हम किसी कॉल को चांस नहीं ले सकते हैं। अगर हमारे पास कॉल आ गया तो वी हैव टू अटेंड दैट कॉल, तो हमने सभी कॉल को अटेंड किया है। और सुबह से ही जो है ये करीब 8 बजे मेरे को सूचना मिली थी कि 7 करीब स्कूलों में कॉल आ चुकी थी, तभी मैंने सारे स्टेशन, सारे अफसर को अलर्ट कर दिया गया था। सारे हमारे अफसर जो है अभी अपने अपने स्टेशनों पे हैं, अगर कहीं जरूरत पड़ेगी तो इमीडिएटली उनको मूव किया जा सके। और बाकी हमने सारे काम अभी पोस्टपोन किए हुए हैं टू अटेंड ऑल दिस कॉल।
क्या कहेंगे कि पैनिक ना ले लोग, क्योंकि काफी
जी देखिए, पैनिक की बात नहीं है, हम लोग सभी लोग जो है पूरी तैयारी से इसमें लग गए हैं। और मुझे क्योंकि बहुत सारे स्कूलों से गाड़ियां भी वापस आ गई जिन्हें बताया गया कि हॉक्स कॉल थी, फॉल्स कॉल थी, तो मुझे लगता है सब कॉल फॉल्स हैं। किसी शरारती तत्व की जो है ये मुझे लगता है घटना है जो पैनिक क्रिएट करने की कोशिश कर रहा है, और ऐसा मेरे को नहीं लगता कि कोई ऐसी बात होगी। आप
All right, let's quickly go back to Anshul, who continues to stay with us. Anshul, the fact that the chief of the Delhi Fire Services has in fact highlighted the point that one phone call is enough to create that panic and to also in fact force them into taking action, because there is no room for any kind of chances, which is why important to also delve deeper into why there has been this kind of panic. Take us through what have been the components of that email that has triggered such a panic situation.
So yes, the timing of this email is what we have been told was approximately 4:30 a.m. in the morning. Now at 4:30 a.m. generally schools do not work, and that is the reason why schools had no idea that such an email has been received in their inbox. once the school started functioning at approximately 7 a.m., 7:15 a.m. in the morning when the systems were open and they got to read that message, students had already started coming in inside the school. But several of the schools who had read this message in the morning, they were able to take the situation under control and make sure that the students who are arriving over here, they are sent back at the earliest, so that there is not much of commotion that could happen inside the schools. Whereas once the media started reporting that there are several schools who have received this email, the schools started checking their emails, and then they started to find out that they have also received similar threats. And that is when the panic struck, because the students had already reached inside the schools. Parents had gone back to their home after dropping their children at the schools, and that is when it became a very uphill task for the schools to make sure that the students are evacuated at the earliest. Now, with the help of police and the local fire service, the schools have been able to evacuate their campuses and have been able to send their students back to their homes. But yes, there are new schools who are still reporting that they have also received similar emails, and hence one by one, as the evacuation process is starting. On the other hand, the police and the fire services and the bomb disposal squad is carrying on with the search operations. Thankfully, nothing has been found, but definitely the manner in which these emails have been sent definitely has caused a lot of alarm amongst the parents who had reached this morning to drop their children at school. These children are from private schools, aging somewhere from 3 to 4 years to 17, 18 years. All those students had reached the schools and they have been sent back. The situation outside all these schools is somewhere or the other normal, but definitely there is a panic that is amongst the children, and that is the reason why the police is making this appeal. The administration to the level of the lieutenant governor has also gone ahead and made this appeal to the parents that they should not panic at this point in time.
Right.
More than 80 schools have already reported such calls, but nothing has been found, and hence parents should not panic and follow the SOPs that are already in place to tackle such situations.
Absolutely. And in fact, Anshul, I'm going to request you to continue staying with us. Remember, such an email and such a hoax, even if it is being ruled out as a hoax, was enough to disrupt the schools for just a day. Remember, several of them were, in fact, even conducting exams. We are learning that Mother Mary, the school, was in the middle of an exam when the security ops started taking place. In fact, let's also bring you a walkthrough from outside one of the schools by Arunima before we quickly go back to Anshu.
Delhi Police's teams evacuating students from across schools here in Delhi NCR. About 50 schools have received bomb threats in Delhi NCR, forcing students to be moved out of the school premises at the earliest. These schools are spread across Delhi, Noida and other parts of Delhi NCR. Most of them received emails which said that there was a threat. It turned out to be a hoax, but as a precaution, most of the schools sent back their students home early. This is not the first time that such an incident has been reported in Delhi NCR or in other parts of the country. Earlier also in Delhi schools, such hoax emails or phone calls were received, and it turned out to be somebody who was playing a prank. Similar incident happened in Bangalore also. So this is turning out to be a huge menace for the law enforcing authorities here. Essentially, what they are trying to ascertain is, as the investigation is proceeding, as to who really is sending these emails. What is it that the person who's sending these emails is wanting? Is there any kind of malafide intent, or is it just a prank, which is the worst kind of prank that one can think of? Police is trying to ascertain the IP address from where the emails really came.
Let's quickly go back to Anshul. Anshul, the very valid point being made by Arunima over there, and I'd like you to, in fact, draw the attention to the same, which is how these kind of hoax calls and emails and threats are, in fact, becoming quite a menace when it comes to Delhi and NCR schools. Because remember, in February itself, there was a threat received by Delhi's DPS in RK Puram, and in fact, the list goes on. But having said that, I believe in the longest time, we've never heard such a hoax spanning over 80 schools. And remember how detrimental this is, considering one of the schools was even conducting an exam.
Well, definitely, this is a new modus operandi that has come to the fore. Before this, we have seen that there were individual cases where schools had reported that they have received threatening emails. Now this time around, a mass email has been sent. More than 80 schools have already reported that they have received such emails, and that is the reason why there is a sense of commotion that can be sensed amongst all these schools that are now carrying out the evacuation process. Remember, it is very difficult for the police also to go ahead and track the person who has sent this email, because the email that has come to these schools, these emails have an IP address, but that IP address has been masked. Not only that, but also VPN has been used. Now, after using the VPN, the location, the country of that person automatically changes, and it becomes almost impossible for the agencies to track that person down, breaking through the VPN. But yes, there is technology that can go through it, but it is going to take a lot of time. It is still not clear as to from where did this entire email originate. Did this happen from inside the country? Did it happen in the national capital, or it happened from across the borders? This is something that has still not been clarified. But initially, since the VPN was used by the person who had sent out this email, it is from a foreign country. But yes, it is not to be. It is still not sure that if at all the mail has originated from a foreign land. It could very well be possible that the mail has originated from within our borders itself. So yes, it remains to be seen how quickly can the Delhi police now track down the person who has sent out this email, and if at all there are more schools that are receiving, with every passing minute the number of schools that are reporting such calls is increasing. At this point, 80 schools have already reported. This number could easily go up. Several of these schools in which the search operation has come to an end, nothing has been found. At this point in time, the email seems like an hoax email. But yes, nothing can be said for sure until and unless the last school and the last classroom is checked by the security forces.
Anshul, also important to highlight how schools remain a very vulnerable target, because remember, in the United States, we're seeing how they're being targeted as far as gun violence is concerned. Such kind of emails now arriving in Indian schools also. Of course, these are terror threats, but having said that, gun violence is also being compared with the new form of terrorism that's plaguing the United States. But important to highlight how schools, in fact, are becoming the new vulnerable target as far as terror is concerned.
Definitely. So schools out here in the national capital has somewhere or the other become a target over the last 6 to 7 months. We have already seen that there are several cases that have come up in schools where they have received emails as to how the bomb has been planted inside their schools, but nothing significant. Thankfully, nothing significant or untoward has happened till now. But as you were saying, that nothing can be taken for granted until and unless the last school, the last classroom is actually checked by the police forces and the security forces, and that is what is happening at this point in time. At this point, it seems like a hoax email, but nothing can be said for sure. This could actually actually be the perpetrator of this crime. Could actually be a person who has some other intention, or to probably to divert attention of the security forces as well. So definitely a lot of questions that needs to be answered. Still, there is no clarity as to what could be the reason because of which such emails have been sent out. The investigation has started by the police. Special cell has been roped in. The special cell is already trying to trace down the IP address, unmask that IP address, and eventually trace down the system from which the email was sent. So definitely a lot of questions that needs to be answered at this point in time, but definitely it remains to be seen how quickly can that happen. But the message, as I would again like to reiterate to our viewers, that there is no need to panic at this point in time, because the number is a large number in which these threats have come
True.
up, and hence it is going to take some time for the police to actually make sure that each and every school is checked and students are evacuated safely. And if at all parents panic, then this entire situation could actually tremble out of hand, spiral out of hand very quickly, and that is something that no one can afford at this point in time, because a massive operation has been launched by the security forces out here in the national capital.
Absolutely. In fact, Anshul, stay with us. We are getting in breaking inputs right now. In fact, CNN News 18 is bringing to you exclusive top intel. Sources are, in fact, revealing to us that bomb threats to the schools is now becoming a regular feature. These days, bomb scare is also plaguing various Delhi and NCR schools. Agencies are trying to find out details from a period of time. This is happening on a regular frequency, and earlier the same was reported from Bengaluru as well, and even few schools in Delhi. And as far as investigations on the email are concerned, they usually go untraceable and difficult to reach any human attempt to discredit the entire system. Let's quickly go back to Anshul, who continues to stay with us. Anshul, the very point that we were discussing just a while ago in terms of how difficult it is to trace a particular person when such hoax emails or phone calls are made, and they seem to have become a menace, a regular phenomenon, especially when it comes to schools in India.
Well, definitely, this has become a regular phenomenon. But what is even more scary is that it is very, very difficult for the security agencies to actually reach the person who has sent out such emails, and that is something that is the biggest cause of concern for the police and the security officials. And till now, the police has not been able to trace down the person who had sent out these emails, and hence it is becoming very, very difficult for them to actually trace that person down as well. So over the next few hours, it is going to be very, very interesting to see if at all the police will be able to trace that person down and make sure that the person who has sent out this email can be brought to the books. Because as I mentioned, that a lot of technology has been used while this mail has been sent out. This technology includes the usage of VPN services and also the masking of IP addresses. Now, it is very difficult for the police to actually unmask those IP addresses and eventually find the exact location from where the mail was originated. Till now, we have seen that several schools have had reported over the last 1 year the perpetrators of those crimes have still not been brought to the books. So you can imagine as to how big a task is this for the Delhi police and security forces to make sure that they track that person down to the T.
Anshul, please stay with us. I'm also joined in by Akash right now. Akash, if I could bring you in on the same breaking input that we've received in terms of how difficult it is becoming for the cops, especially Delhi police, not to forget that there's similar calls being made in other schools in cities like Bengaluru as well. How difficult it has become a menace, in fact, to trace these people who are sending such hoax emails or even phone calls, even though the Delhi police special cell has been roped in. What hopes should be harboring when it comes to, in fact, finding out the culprit behind these emails and calls?
Right. So you see, Anshul was talking about VPN, masking and all other things. You see, tracking an IP address even doesn't mean that you are tracking, or in fact you are able to catch the culprit. And with advancement of technology, it has become more difficult. And we have seen in the past that how frequent these threat calls have become in the national capital. I'll come to that point and we'll discuss that in detail. But as of now, I'm showing you these visuals. This is a DTEA Senior Secondary School. It is in central Delhi on Mandir Marg, where we have a number of such schools. And this school has been vacated. In fact, I'll try to show you some visuals where, in fact, the process is still going on. You are seeing parents have been asked to take their kids back to their home, and they're still, not sure as to what is the reason. But parents are saying that this is happening for the first time. I'll try to talk to some parents as well. भाई साहब, आपको भी फोन वोन आया था स्कूल से? मैसेज आया. क्या मैसेज था? मैसेज ये बच्चे को अपना जल्दी से जल्दी ले जाओ. कोई कारण बताया? बम की फैली पड़ी है. बम की फैली पड़ी है. कितने बच्चे हैं? 3 बच्चे हैं आपके पढ़ते हैं? एक मेरा, 2 पड़ोसी है. अच्छा, 2 पड़ोसी के. अब ले जाना पड़ता. तो अभी आपने टीचर से पूछा तो होगा कि क्यों ये ले जा रहा हूँ. अच्छा, ले जा रहे हैं. सुबह से जो खबर चल रही है, आप भी बता रहे हैं, खबर के बारे में कहीं ना कहीं डर का भी माहौल हो जाता है. जब तो भाग के आ रहा है काम. अच्छा, तो पहली बार ऐसा हो रहा है या पहली बार हुआ है? ऐसे पहला भी कभी हुआ? पहली बार ही हो रहा है. तो नौकरी करते सर आप, तो ये तो बड़ी परेशानी हो गई होगी. कितनी भागना पड़ रहा है इमरजेंसी. बस हमारी वो दोपहर में आती है. हम जैसे साधन जैसा हो रहा है वो लेने आ रहा है. Right. All right. So this is how the situation is. You see, parents have received this message, and this is not just one school where parents have received such messages. In fact, in Dwarka we have a number of schools. In Dholakpur, in fact, the public school has informed the parents to take their kids back home. And several schools, in fact, we have been told that more than 60 schools in the national capital have received such calls where it was a bomb threat via call, email, and schools have been evacuated. In fact, parents have been asked to take their kids back home. Some schools have, in fact, coordinated with the bus drivers and the cab drivers to take back these students home. And this is the condition in the national capital as of now.
Absolutely. In fact, undoubtedly has brought the daily routines of not just the students but the parents as well to a screeching halt. But remember, reactions are coming in thick and fast. This is Suman Nalva of the Delhi Police. He's the PRO with the Delhi Police. Let's listen in to what the reactions have been of the Delhi Police. Let's listen in to what Suman Nalva has to say.
नंबर नहीं है, लेकिन बहुत से स्कूल हैं जिन्होंने हमें अप्रोच किया है कि उनको एक मेल आया है जिसमें थ्रेट दिया गया है कि उनके प्रीमाइसेस पर बॉम्ब है। तो जब ये कॉल मिला तो उसके बाद दिल्ली पुलिस ने प्रोटोकॉल के अनुसार हर एक कॉल को सीरियसली लेते हुए हर जगह थॉरो चेकिंग करवाई है, लेकिन अभी तक कहीं भी कुछ भी अनटूवर्ड्स नहीं मिला है।
मैम, पैनिक कंट्रोल के लिए क्या स्टेप्स?
पैनिक कंट्रोल के लिए तो हम आपके थ्रू और बाकी मीडिया चैनल्स के थ्रू हम लोगों को जागरूक कर रहे हैं कि हमने इस कॉल्स को, जितनी भी कॉल्स आई उनको बहुत सीरियसली लेते हुए हर जगह थॉरो चेकिंग की है, लेकिन कहीं भी कुछ नहीं मिला है। और अगर इसका टाइमिंग देखें तो सभी स्कूल्स को इकट्ठा किया है और कहीं कुछ नहीं मिला है, तो इसका लगता है कि ये किसी ने पैनिक क्रिएट करने के लिए ही ये तकनीक अपनाई है, जिसमें उन्होंने इंडिविजुअल स्कूल्स को मेल डाला है।
मैम, जैसा कि कुछ स्कूल्स में आज से वैकेशन भी शुरू हो गया, समर वैकेशन, क्या कहीं पर ऐसे भी स्कूल्स हैं जो रनिंग पोजीशन में है और पेरेंट्स ने भी आपसे
जैसा कि मैंने कहा कि दिल्ली में बहुत सारे स्कूल्स हैं और किसी के बारे में भी कमेंट करना मेरे लिए संभव नहीं होगा कि कहाँ पर छुट्टियां शुरू हो गई हैं कहाँ नहीं। मैं इतना कहना चाहूंगी पेरेंट्स को कि पैनिक ना करें। ये वाली कॉल्स हैं हमारे लिए भी बहुत सीरियस होती हैं। तो एक एस्पेक्ट है सुरक्षा का, तो उसके लिए हम हर एक संभव जो भी प्रोटोकॉल के अनुसार है वह कर रहे हैं, और दूसरा है इन्वेस्टिगेशन का जो पैरेलली हम कर रहे हैं।
मैम, क्या किसी ने जिम्मेदारी ली है अभी तक? क्योंकि ये पूरा एक ऐसा लग रहा है कि प्री प्लान तरीके से मेल किया गया है, तो क्या अभी तक किसी ग्रुप ने या किसी ने जिम्मेदारी ली है?
ऐसा अभी कोई इंफॉर्मेशन मेरे पास नहीं है, लेकिन इन्वेस्टिगेशन एक सेपरेट एस्पेक्ट है जो भी नेसेंट स्टेज पर है, तो उसके ऊपर मैं अभी कमेंट नहीं करूंगी। मैंने जैसा कि मैंने कहा कि अभी बहुत नेसेंट स्टेज पर है इन्वेस्टिगेशन, तो उसके ऊपर मैं अभी कमेंट करना उचित नहीं समझूंगी।
काफी ज्यादा पैनिक फैला है, बच्चे थे, पेरेंट्स हैं, काफी ज्यादा पैनिक फैला हुआ, अभी भी लगातार मेल्स आ रही हैं, तो
आप बिल्कुल सही कह रहे हैं। तो इस टाइप की कॉल्स का लगता ही है कि मुद्दा ही यही है उनका, औचित्य ही यही है कि पैनिक फैलाना। तो ऐसे तत्वों को जो पैनिक फैलाना चाहते हैं उनको फेल करना हमारी जिम्मेदारी है। तो मैं पेरेंट्स को ये कहना चाहूंगी कि पैनिक ना करें, और दिल्ली पुलिस है वह हर संभव कोशिश करती है कि ऐसा कुछ भी अनटूवर्ड इंसिडेंट ना हो, इसीलिए हर एक कॉल को बहुत ही सीरियसली लिया जाता है। और
In fact, the Ministry of Home Affairs has said that there's no need to panic. It appears to be a hoax call, and the Delhi police and security agencies are also taking the adequate necessary steps as per protocol. So the MHA also now reacting to the current situation plaguing Delhi and NCR. In fact, let's quickly go across to Arunima, who's also been tracking this news story for us. Arunima, while the panic, in fact, is understandable considering in recent years we haven't heard of such a threat being issued to over 60 schools, what are the challenges now for the Delhi police, while you elaborate on what the MHA has had to say?
The Ministry of Home Affairs has pointed out that the steps that Delhi police is taking, and MHA has said that for parents there is nothing to panic about. Delhi police is taking all the required steps. Just to give you a sense of what is happening in across Delhi-NCR, these schools, most of the schools have been evacuated or are in the process of evacuation. Some which didn't even receive the bomb threat. Even those schools decided to take the precaution of sending their children back home because there was so much of uncertainty and parents were also panicking. Inside school premises, from one of the schools, I just went and saw myself as to what was really happening there. A bomb detection squad of Delhi police, a bomb disposal squad, and the fire services teams were there inside. Students were all asked to evacuate their classroom and sit in the nearest big ground, and their bags, their belongings were all kept inside the classroom. Police did not allow them to touch anything. There were dog squads, the canine squads that were pressed into services. Metal detectors were utilized to scan through the entire grounds of the schools, and the class premises are also still being sanitized. So I think that process, since the number we are talking about is more than 60, Delhi police teams have spread out across Delhi. In NCR, in Noida, in Gurugram, the local police has also been roped in. So the process of sanitization and giving the all clear will have to be done for all these 60 schools. So one will have to wait and watch if this process is completed before school begins tomorrow morning, or if the Delhi police seeks more time and therefore one more unintended holiday, unplanned holiday is declared. So that's the big question currently. But whatever the case, the good news is that our children are safe. Most of them are back home. Others are on their way home. And those schools who have not evacuated are carrying on with class as usual. So MHA asking parents not to panic.
Right. Thank you for bringing in all those very significant pieces of information for us, Arunima. In fact, we'll keep tracking this story. Remember, developments are still happening. In fact, right now, we cut to a quick break. News and updates continue on the other side. Stay tuned to CNN News 18.
Of threats, or were all these emails sent at the same time to 50 plus schools? Are we just discovering this now? Just bring us that context.
So yes, this email was sent at the same time. What we have been told by top sources in the Delhi police that 50 schools have already reported that they have received similar emails since morning. Remember, this mail was sent approximately around 4:30. Post that, not many schools had checked their emails. The schools that had checked their emails had sent the kids back. Now, as we started reporting on this entire story, schools started checking their emails and they found that similar threats have been received by them. In Dwarka district itself, at least 8 to 10 schools have reported that they have received similar threats. In the New Delhi district as well, at least 5 to 6 schools have reported that they have received threats. Out here in the East district, where I'm reporting from Mother Mary School, at least 3 to 4 schools out here in this district have also reported that they have received similar threats. So more than 50 schools have already reported. The calls are still coming in on the police lines, where they are reporting that they have also received similar emails. It remains to be seen as to how many schools eventually end up reporting the manner in which the emails have been sent to them. But definitely this is a very, very uphill task for the Delhi police to find out the person who has sent out this email, because it has been sent with a definitely a criminal mindset. Because remember, the IP address from where the email had originated has been masked. Not only the IP address, but also the VPN has been used, which is not telling the exact, which means that the police does not has the exact location from where this email has originated. So it is going to take a lot of time for the Delhi police to actually find out, eventually unmask the IP address and find out from which system has this email been sent. Was it sent from some sort of a cyber cafe, or was it sent from outside the country? At this point in time, as we speak, it seems like that the email has originated from outside the country, but this cannot be confirmed because VPNs have been used, and it is very easy for the person to use VPN and actually tell that his location is from someplace else. So over the next few hours, as the search operations are underway in all these schools, it remains to be seen if at all anything is found out. But since morning, since the last 2.5 hours, the search operations are underway, and thankfully nothing has happened. Mails and are reporting they have started the evacuation operations. Children are being asked to return back to their home. Parents have been called to school to pick up their children. Other children are being sent on school buses back to their houses. Definitely a sense of panic can be sensed all around the national capital. Not only in the national capital, but private schools in Noida and Greater Noida have also gone ahead and reported similar emails as well. Now, it is still not clear if at all anything has been found by the police. Till now, as the search operations are on, nothing untoward has happened. Till now, children have been evacuated safely from most of these schools. but most schools are constantly coming out and reporting that they have also received similar emails.
Okay, Anshul, just stay with us. We're going to go over to our colleague Arunima, who's brought us this ground report. Take a look. She's bringing us the situation.
Delhi Police's teams evacuating students from across schools here in Delhi NCR. About 50 schools have received bomb threats in Delhi NCR, forcing students to be moved out of the school premises at the earliest. These schools are spread across Delhi, Noida, and other parts of Delhi NCR. Most of them received emails which said that there was a threat. It turned out to be a hoax, but as a precaution, most of the schools sent back their students home early. This is not the first time that such an incident has been reported in Delhi NCR or in other parts of the country. Earlier also in Delhi schools, such hoax emails or phone calls were received, and it turned out to be somebody who was playing a prank. Similar incident happened in Bangalore also. So this is turning out to be a huge menace for the law enforcing authorities here. Essentially, what they are trying to ascertain is, as the investigation is proceeding, as to who really sending these emails. What is it that the person who's sending these emails is wanting? Is there any kind of malafide intent, or is it just a prank, which is the worst kind of prank that one can think of? Police is trying to ascertain the IP address from where the emails really came. But at this stage, there seems to be panic all over Delhi NCR, where parents have had to rush in after decided to carry out the evacuation in schools across Delhi NCR. Like I said, more than 2 dozen such schools received emails, and some of them, as a matter of precaution, decided to send their children back home.
Okay, we have a statement now from the Education Minister of Delhi. She's saying some schools have received a bomb threat this morning. She's saying students have been evacuated. Now, it's important to point out, she's saying so far nothing has been found on the premises. We're in constant touch with the Delhi police and the schools. We request parents and citizens not to panic. School authorities will be in touch with parents wherever they are needed. Let's go back to our colleague Anshul to get more context. Anshul, over to you.
So yes, most schools are constantly reporting at this point in time. As we just told our viewers, more than 50 schools have already reported. Several other schools are also going ahead and informing the police that they have also received similar threats. But yes, it is still not clear as to who is the person who has sent out this email, because it is going to be very, very difficult for the police to actually track that person down to the T. Because remember, over the last few months as well, similar emails have been sent out. But this time around, the emails have been sent out in bulk to various schools, and that is the reason why there is a sense of panic, a sense of commotion that can be sensed among the parents, students, and teachers of the schools as
Anshul,
well.
just tell our audiences.
In fact,
we just heard from the Education Minister Atishi. She was saying that across the city they are in coordination. So the Delhi government is in coordination with the Delhi police. Just tell our audiences, 50 plus schools. Any government schools in that list so far?
As of now, it is only the private schools that have received such emails. In fact, in the West District of the national capital, 7 schools have received bomb threats. In Dwarka District, 8 to 9 schools have received bomb threats. All these schools are private schools, posh schools that have received such emails, and that is the reason why there is a large sense of panic amongst the parents as well. Now, the police is trying to make sure that they carry on the entire search and evacuation operation at the earliest. Several schools, the work has been completed in several schools, but the work is underway in other schools as well. Even as we speak, more calls are pouring in on the helplines of the Delhi police, where it is being reported that they have also received similar emails. So definitely, it is going to be a very, very uphill task for the police to actually to actually instill calm amongst the people initially, and then make sure that the person who has sent out such horrifying emails, the person can be brought to the books.
Tell our audiences though, Anshul, one of the things you were telling us was that in the last incident where this took place, where a school received a bomb threat, till now the person has not been tracked because the process is so complicated. Can you tell us more?
So yes, people have a lot of access to technology, and that is the reason why it gets very, very difficult to actually trace an email down to the T. Because if you see the IP address is something that can be masked by the person. Generally, this is being done by experts in the field who have who have the knowledge as to how they can go ahead and actually mask the IP addresses. And once the IP address is masked, then then it is very very difficult for the agencies to actually unmask that and then eventually trace that IP address down to the system from which the email has been sent. And not only the IP address has been masked in this case, but also VPN has been used. Now VPN is something that is used to mask the identity of the person and the location of the person, which means that once the VPN is used, it is going to show you some other location from some other part of the world, from where, if at all, it is traced back by the police. So definitely all this technology has already been used, and it is definitely a very very difficult task to actually break through the VPN, and then eventually break through the IP address, and then find out from which system, from which mobile device has this email been sent out. Over the last 1 year itself, 6 to 7 times we have seen that such emails have been sent to private schools in the national capital, but the perpetrators of these crimes have still not been taken into custody, which actually narrates an entire story as to how very difficult it is for the agencies to actually unmask the VPN, unmask the IP address, and then eventually find the person who has sent out these emails.
Anshul, can you just walk us through exactly what's taken place since the morning? So let's just give our audiences a brief timeline. Around 4 a.m. is when schools in the capital received this email. Now, what we're learning right now is all these schools received the email at the same time. This hasn't taken place in waves. It's just that different schools were checking their email addresses at different times. Initially, we obviously shared with you it was 10 schools. That number increased to 20 schools. Right now, at least 50 schools are being reported to have received this email. As our colleague Anshul was pointing out, as of now, there are no government schools on that list. These are largely private schools. Anshul was pointing out the regions that these schools are located in, because this is taking place across the entire Delhi-NCR region. Now, Atishi, the education minister, has just issued a statement in which she said that they are in touch with the Delhi police. The Delhi police is conducting sweeps, as you can see on your screens right now. The other point that Atishi made was that till now in those sweeps, nothing has been found of concern. Still, students being taken out of their schools obviously exercising precaution, telling parents to come to school to pick up their wards. We're breaking, as you can see, high vigil in the Delhi-NCR region after that bomb threat was sent out to more than 50 schools across the Delhi-NCR region. Now, we'll continue to bring you more details. Our colleague Anshul on the ground outside one such school. Let's just go over to him to understand more. Anshul, tell our audiences, 50 plus schools, that number could increase. We're telling our audiences now high vigil in Delhi-NCR. What does that actually mean when we're saying high vigil has been announced in Delhi-NCR?
So yes, since this has happened across the national capital, so the Delhi police, out of precaution, is now sending out messages to schools to make sure that they send back their students, they carry out the evacuation SOP that is over there, because definitely this is a big threat. Even though even eventually, if it turns out that this was a hoax call, but safety and security of children is something that no police official can actually take the thing off. So definitely it is very very scary. The situation is very very scary, and that is the reason why the Delhi police has jumped into action. Special cell of the Delhi police has been roped in. Remember, special cell is the master of such technology where they can go ahead and actually nab the person, track the person down. They have done this over the past, where they have traced down terrorists and dreaded gangsters. Now this time around as well, since it is the matter of schools, now the special cell has been roped in. It remains to be seen how quickly can the special cell now make sure that the person who has sent out this email could actually be traced down. Definitely, it is a very very serious situation. There is a lot of commotion. What officially we are being told from DCP South. I have just received a message which states that in South District of the National Capital, which is one of the most posh areas of the National Capital, 15 schools have already reported that they have received a bomb threat. So definitely the situation is very very tense. There is a lot of commotion out here. We are seeing that more police officials are reaching over here. I guess the DCP of this area has also reached over here to take a look at the situation. We'll try and get in a word. Apura Gupta is the DCP of this entire area, and she has also reached over here. We'll just try and get in a word as to how many schools. Ma'am,
अभी सुबह से हमें कुछ स्कूल से हमें पता चला है कि उन्हें उनके इनबॉक्स में ईमेल्स मिले हैं जिसमें कि बॉम्ब थ्रेट इशू हुई है। जैसे जैसे हमें इंफॉर्मेशन मिल रही थी तो स्कूल अथॉरिटीज के साथ मिलके पहली प्रायोरिटी थी हमारी कि बच्चों को इवैक्यूएट किया जाए बिल्डिंग से और सेफली उनके पेरेंट्स या गार्जियंस के पास पहुंचा दिया जाए। एज वी स्पीक इंफॉर्मेशन इज स्टिल कमिंग फ्रॉम अदर स्कूल्स ऑल्सो। जैसे जैसे स्कूल्स अपने इनबॉक्सेस चेक कर रहे हैं तो पता चल रहा है। मेरी पेरेंट्स से यही दरख्वास्त है कि प्लीज पैनिक मत कीजिए।
Okay, let's just go over very quickly to Suman Nalva, the DCP PRO for the Delhi Police. Thank you so much for joining us. Could you just tell us very quickly, the entire city right now on high alert, what details can you share with us of the investigative process?
I can tell you that some schools in Delhi have approached Delhi police regarding the emails that they have received about a bomb threat in their premises. So each and every such call is being investigated, and all the premises are being checked as per protocol. So I would like to say that wherever the checking has been completed, nothing untoward has been found. So it appears that the whole motive was probably to create a panic. However, each and every such information is being taken very seriously, and we are taking all appropriate measures.
Ma'am, by what time would you be able to tell our audiences will the searches be complete? Will we be able to definitively say that nothing has been found on any of the campuses that received this warning?
Again, this is an ongoing exercise because the schools are approaching us on a different time as and when they are becoming aware of such mails. However, since morning, nothing untoward has been found. This is what I want to say, and I want to convey to the parents that we take these calls very seriously and we take every measure possible to ensure safety and security of the students as well as the schools.
Okay, ma'am,
not to panic is the message.
Before we let you go, one last question, and we'll share that message with our audiences. One last question, though. What is the process now, ma'am, of tracking down the person who sent these emails to make sure?
That is a matter of investigation which has already started. So I will not be commenting on that. That's an ongoing investigation.
Okay. All right. Ms. Nalva, thank you for joining us here on CNN News 18. Let's go back to our colleague Arunima. She's with us live right now to understand more. Arunima, we heard right now from the Delhi Police PRO. She was saying that, as you had told us earlier too, that nothing has been discovered in these searches that are taking place, but the searches are very much, as we speak, still underway. Can you just tell us more about what's happening around these schools? The number now increasing. We earlier shared 20, now we're learning 50 plus schools. So far, that number could increase further. Just bring us the details.
Yes, so right now I'm coming to you live from Lodi Estate. There are multiple schools in the lane that I'm standing in. You can see a PCR van behind me standing there. And I'll just pan the camera to show you how parents are leaving with their children. School buses have started moving on the other side as well. And I don't know if you can see it or not. This lane behind me is completely jam-packed with parents trying desperately to take their children back home. Let me take you to this side where you see vehicles, private vehicles leaving with the kids in tow. Buses are moving on the other side. The bomb detection unit of the Delhi police is inside these schools. There are also fire service units which are inside these schools. Essentially what happened since this morning, at least in these schools, these three schools which are in the vicinity, what happened is that the children came at around 8 o'clock and there were no emails that were received by one school here in particular. But even then, all children were moved out into the big ground, into the big fields here by the Delhi police. Their school bags they were not allowed to take. And as I speak to you, you can see the continuous stream of private vehicles ferrying students away while the school buses are moving on the other side. So the Delhi police teams reached here. Students were asked to vacate the classroom. The students and the teachers, the staff members, they were all asked to gather in the big field in the school premises. Their bags were left inside. Everything was thoroughly checked by the bomb detection unit of the Delhi police. Thankfully, they didn't find anything here which was suspicious in nature, but a call was taken to send the children back home. Immediately, messages went out to parents saying that the buses are moving, saying that, the school is sending children back home. Those who took private vehicles then rushed in. The school buses, I just saw one bus enter. Maybe I can show it to you there. One bus is there behind me. So these buses were also called in, and they were called in so that students who take the bus service can be sent back home. Like the PRO was saying, so far they have not found anything which is amiss, but the Delhi police is not taking any chances. What is the initial bit of investigation telling them that all the emails that went to about 50 schools was the same text, similar font size, similar composition of the email as well. And, that gives them the sense that this was one hoax email that was sent to all of these schools. What is the IP address from which these emails were generated? That is what police is trying to ascertain at the moment. But their priority also is to ensure that parents don't panic. Nothing untoward has been found so far, is the message from Delhi police. So they're telling parents that the schools are taking care of your ward. Do not panic. If you have to take them away, do that. But be assured that there is nothing to panic at this stage. So that's the message with which Delhi police is, reaching out to parents.
Arunima, can we just keep you with us, please, 1 second? We're receiving more breaking news. The Delhi Fire Services, the DFS, they're saying they've received more than 60 bomb threat calls in schools till now. So 60 plus schools. We'd earlier said 50 plus. That number is increasing. Just since we've started the show at 10 a.m., the number has increased from 20 to 40 to now 60. 60 schools, the Delhi Fire Service is saying, have received those that slice of information. We'll just share with you our audiences more of the details in a second. We'll have reporters joining us to bring us all of these details. This is a breaking news story, one we've been sharing with you since early this morning. Let's go over to our colleague Akash to understand more on this entire story. Okay. Akash, let me just share with our audiences. 10 schools in the East District, 15 in South District, 10 in Dwarka, 7 in West District, and I even believe 10 to 12 in New Delhi. This is what our most recent input is. Just tell our audiences, DFS saying the number is actually 60 plus, not 50. Just tell us more.
Yes, and this is an unusual day in the national capital where, in fact, Soya, we have been reporting this morning that schools in the national capital are receiving, these bomb threat calls. And in fact, Delhi police is investigating the matter. But the concerning part is that parents are in panic. And it has been advised that, there is no need to panic because school administration and also the Delhi police, the authorities are very much there for the students and for the parents. As of now, if we talk about Central Delhi, so, Delhi Tamil Education Association, the school that is on Mandir Marg, in fact, has been vacated. And, teachers have asked the students to, leave for their home. In fact, parents have been informed because this school is also one school which has received one such call. And around 60 schools in the national capital, as per Delhi Fire Services, around 60 schools are there, where these calls or emails have been received. In fact, we have been checking with Army Public School because there is an information that, in fact, APS has received such call. And, message has been sent to the parents because the security of children is the utmost priority as of now. And also, we have been told that Delhi police is investigating the matter. They are checking the IP address of the email that has been received. They are checking the phone numbers from where this call has been received. And also, there is a sort of panic sort of situation, in Delhi. But Delhi police has advised that there is no need to panic because it is believed that these are the hoax calls. And in fact, the police is investigating the matter as of now.
Right. Akash, stay with us, please. Arunima, stay with us. We'll head into a short break. On the other side, more of the country's top stories. This is obviously our top developing story right now. We'll keep tracking it. We have our Bureau of Reporters on the ground. We'll see you in just a few minutes.
bomb threat via an anonymous email. Subsequently, schools have been evacuated. Fire and bomb disposal squads have already been deployed. There is a thorough sanitization that is happening in all of those schools. And upon receiving information from the school about these bomb threats, parents of all these children and students immediately rushed to the schools. It did create a lot of panic amongst the parents as well. The Delhi Education Minister has released a statement reassuring the public that they are in constant touch with all all of the affected schools, all those schools who did receive that email, and have also urged parents not to panic. The police have also stated that nothing untoward has been found thus far, and it seems that someone was attempting to create panic, but we're still waiting for an official word from the Delhi police. We have just received this reaction from the Delhi Lieutenant Governor. Let's just play that out.
स्कूलों में आई है, इमीडिएटली पुलिस को इन्फॉर्म किया गया है स्कूल अथॉरिटीज़ ने, और दिल्ली पुलिस बहुत ही जल्दी वहाँ पर पहुँची और सारा कॉर्डन ऑफ कर दिया गया है एरिया। सर्च ऑपरेशंस चल रहे हैं, यहाँ पर डॉग स्क्वाड्स भी हैं, बॉम्ब डिस्पोजल यूनिट्स भी काम कर रही हैं। हर तरीके से हम मुस्तैद हैं। मुझे भी 7:30 बजे इसकी इन्फॉर्मेशन मिल गई थी और इस वक्त मैंने पुलिस कमिश्नर साहब को ये कहा था कि आप पूरी फोर्स लगाकर इस पर ध्यान दें और कोई इंसिडेंट नहीं होनी चाहिए। मैं इस बात को दिल्ली की जनता को एश्योर करना चाहता हूं कि दिल्ली पुलिस पूरी तरीके से मुस्तैद है और हमारी कोशिश होगी कि हम किसी भी अप्रिय घटना को नहीं होने दें।
मेरे पास एग्जैक्ट नंबर नहीं है, लेकिन बहुत से स्कूल हैं जिन्होंने हमें अप्रोच किया है कि उनको एक मेल आया है जिसमें थ्रेट दिया गया है कि उनके प्रीमाइसेस पर बॉम्ब है। तो जब ये कॉल मिला तो उसके बाद दिल्ली पुलिस ने प्रोटोकॉल के अनुसार हर एक कॉल को सीरियसली लेते हुए हर जगह थॉरो चेकिंग करवाई है, लेकिन अभी तक कहीं भी कुछ भी अनटूवर्ड्स नहीं मिला है। पैनिक कंट्रोल के लिए तो हम आपके थ्रू और बाकी मीडिया चैनल्स के थ्रू हम लोगों को जागरूक कर रहे हैं कि हमने इस कॉल्स को, जितनी भी कॉल्स आई उनको बहुत सीरियसली लेते हुए हर जगह थॉरो चेकिंग की है, लेकिन कहीं भी कुछ नहीं मिला है। और अगर इसका टाइमिंग देखें तो सभी स्कूल्स को इकट्ठा किया है और कहीं कुछ नहीं मिला है, तो इसका लगता है कि ये किसी ने पैनिक क्रिएट करने के लिए ही ये तकनीक अपनाई है, जिसमें उन्होंने इंडिविजुअल स्कूल्स को मेल डाला है।
Okay, we've just received information that the searches have ended in Delhi's Mother Mary School as well. Even in that school, nothing has been found. So that's the latest update that we are getting after this news came in of a bomb threat that shut over 60 Delhi schools. Nothing has been found in the searches, but the schools are taking no chances whatsoever. Students have gone back to their homes. The schools were very prompt in reaching out to the parents and informing the parents about this bomb threat. Anshul joins us now for the very latest. Anshul, this is absolutely crazy. 60 schools receiving a threat like this. I'm a parent myself. It is so unnerving to receive this kind of information, and I can understand the kind of panic and anxiety amongst parents. What's the latest that you have on this bomb threat? We are getting to hear that nothing has been found in all of those searches, which perhaps goes on to say that this could have been a hoax bomb threat. But what's the latest that you're hearing from the Delhi police and also from the Delhi government?
So yes, it seems like a hoax email that had been sent out. Still, search operations are underway in few of the schools, but a maximum number of schools, the search operations have come to an end, and nothing has been found in all those schools. Definitely pointing towards that this was being done by someone to create panic amongst the people. Yesterday as well, what we have been told at this point in time from the way of Delhi police sources is that yesterday also there were emails sent to hospitals. Approximately 103 hospitals had received these emails of bomb being inside their premises, and search operations were conducted for the hospitals as well. Now today, schools have been targeted. The names of emails have been sent to schools, but thankfully, till this point, as we speak, nothing has been found in these searches. It seems like that the situation is getting back to normal. But yes, the manner in which the schools have responded, who had received these emails, was very professional. And also now what we are learning that few other schools who did not receive those threats, as a precautionary measure, they have decided to send kids back to their school, back to their homes, because this could actually create a lot of panic amongst the students and the parents as well.
Oh,
the parents
absolutely.
were panicking, and hence the schools have decided to send those kids back. But yes, at this point in time, the message from the Delhi administration and the Delhi police is clear that parents should not panic because it could spiral. The situation could spiral out of hand if parents start to panic at the time when such a massive search operation is already underway.
Indeed, and that's a relief to know from the Delhi police and from the Delhi LG requesting parents not to panic. In fact, you can see from the visuals itself a very quick response by the Delhi police, sending in sniffer dogs, bomb disposal squads as well to all of these schools. Let's just listen into how the principals of some of these schools are reacting to that bomb threat email.
फायर ब्रिगेड्स, डीसीपीज, इवन की एलजी सर, सब लोग आए हैं। टीचर टीम हमारी पूरी खड़ी थी, हाउस कीपिंग, एडमिन, सब लोगों को ड्यूटीज पहले ही बता थी क्योंकि हम लोग मॉक ड्रिल्स करते रहते हैं। एज सुन एज वी रिसीव्ड द वी वर इन एक्शन एंड विद इन एन आवर हमारा LKG टू 5th दैट इज मोर देन 1500 बच्चा वो चले गए थे। रेस्ट पेरेंट्स को फोन किया गया, पेरेंट्स आए हैं, सिग्नेचर करके ले गए हैं and everything has been checked thoroughly by our school team, by police department, by cyber department, by fire brigades and etc.
एलजी साहब ने कुछ इंस्ट्रक्शन दिए हैं क्या?
बस उन्होंने यही कहा था कि जब चले जाएंगे बच्चे 1 घंटे में एक बार गूगल फॉर्म भर के या पेरेंट्स से कांटेक्ट करके बच्चा ठीक पहुंच गया है करके, और कल अगर स्कूल खुल रहा है तो कोई भी अगर पेरेंट अननोन आता है या कोई भी पर्सन आता है तो उसका पूरी सर्विलेंस से उसकी एंट्री होनी चाहिए।
Akash joins us now for the very latest. He, in fact, is joining us outside the DTEA Senior Secondary School. Akash, it's shocking, isn't it? 60 schools in the national capital and NCR region receiving a bomb threat email like this. Obviously, this would have set alarm bells ringing, triggering so much anxiety and panic. I'm a parent myself. I have children going to school. And especially for those parents who are in offices, just when did the school start reacting to that email that most of them had received early in the morning?
Right. So at around 11 a.m., I reached this particular place, Avantika, and this is DTEA Senior Secondary School. And it seems that it was a precautionary evacuation because till now we haven't seen, cops here, and we were unable to get version of any, anyone from school administration. But it seems that it was a precautionary evacuation. In fact, at this point in time, the process is still going on. We can still hear the announcement by the administration saying that, our students from class this to this go to when number this and that. Right. And it is on the basis of SOPs because just few minutes back when I had a word with one teacher, so she said that we have been instructed that you have to vacate the school. And that's the reason why we have sent messages to all the parents. And in fact, parents who are here, in fact, some parents are here. आप लोग को क्या सर मैसेज मिला था कुछ या कैसे पता चला?
इन्फॉर्मेशन तो स्कूल से ही आया था, फोन आया था कि ऐसे ऐसे आ गया है तो आप आगे।
क्या इन्फॉर्मेशन में क्या था?
तो बॉम्ब मिल गया करके, बॉम्ब लगाया हुआ है कहीं पे स्कूलों में। हाँ। दिल्ली के अंदर। हाँ। तो हम थोड़ा घबरा गए। हाँ। तो बच्चों को तो सेफ्टी पहले है। हाँ। बाकी बाद में है। तो इसलिए हम भागे भागे आए, हमारे अपने बच्चों को देखे।
कौन सी क्लास में बच्चे सर?
भाई हमारे अभी 8th क्लास में है, लड़की 9th क्लास में है। अच्छा। तो इसलिए भागे भागे आए ना।
लगभग कितने बजे आया होगा अगर मुझे बताएं?
तो अभी पता चला मेरे को 1-1.5 घंटे पहले।
अच्छा, तो नौकरी करते हैं सर कहीं?
हाँ जी सर, मैं होटल लाइन में से आया हूँ।
ऐसा कभी पहले भी हुआ? मतलब
पहले नहीं हुआ, अभी पहली बार हुआ।
तो खबरें वगैरह देख रहे थे और भी स्कूल्स को ऐसे मैसेजेस आए?
आगे का नहीं पता नहीं, मगर आज पहली बार ही हुआ।
नहीं, मैं कह रहा हूँ कि और भी स्कूल्स को दिल्ली में ऐसे ही कुछ ईमेल आए हैं स्कूल का।
वो हमने नहीं देखा, हमें नहीं पता, मगर जो हमें मैसेज आया मतलब फ्रेंड्स के थ्रू इसमें आया हुआ है।
लेकिन सर सब सेफ है, सारी जगह जो सर्चेज हुई हैं कहीं कुछ भी नहीं मिला?
कुछ नहीं मिला, ऐसा तो कुछ नहीं।
Alright, so this is the situation where in fact parents did not know as to what has happened, but they are saying that there was some bomb related call, and in fact message was given by the school administration saying that you just come, you have to come to school and you have to take your kids back. This is the situation, and this is not just one case, Avantika. We have seen in other districts as well. In fact, Anshul was reporting that how emails were received by several schools in Dwarka, in Noida, in fact, in the other parts of Delhi, where, schools were vacated. In fact, police officials were very much there. Dog squads were there. In fact, bomb squads were there. And, several standard operating procedures, SOPs were followed, and nothing has been found till now.
Okay, all right.
Also, as far as this practice is concerned, so
right, Akash, I'll just come to you. There's some breaking news coming in. Delhi police has also released a statement on the bomb threat to the schools. I'm going to just read out what the Delhi police has said today. Bomb threats have been received to a few schools in Delhi via an email. Taking action on these threats, Delhi police has conducted a thorough check of all the schools as per protocol. However, nothing objectionable has been found. It appears that these calls seem to be a hoax. Delhi police is requesting the public not to panic and maintain peace. So an appeal there coming in from the Delhi police, asking all parents and schools also to maintain calm. Anshul joins us now. Anshul, as I speak, in fact, I have also just received a message from my children's school asking them, as a result of exercising caution, to pick up their children. So one can understand the kind of panic that this threat email has created amongst all parents in the national capital and the NCR, with schools also having a very good emergency response plan, not panicking, reaching out to the parents and requesting them to collect their students from the schools.
Well, definitely, the manner in which the schools have worked is very, very professional, and thankfully, there was no untoward situation that happened in any of these schools. While the time the kids were being evacuated, all these schools made sure that the entire procedure happens according to the SOPs that are already in place, and that is what has been followed. Also, the response of Delhi Police and the fire services has been something that needs to be talked about. 97 calls have been received by the Delhi Fire Services from schools out here in the national capital itself. There are other schools in the NCR region who have also reported that they have gotten these emails. So you can imagine how big this entire operation was. Thankfully, till now, no untoward situation has happened. No objectionable object has been found in any of these schools in which searches have happened. There are still a handful of schools in which the search operations are underway. Not only this, but the schools that did not receive those emails have also decided to send the kids back to their homes because their parents were panicking, and that is something that neither the schools or the Delhi police or the Delhi administration could have afforded, and that is the reason why several schools have taken this decision that they need to send their kids back to their homes, and that is something that has also happened. But yes, the manner in which this entire incident has happened, email in bulk has been sent to private schools in national capital and in the NCR region, definitely raises a lot of concern as to who is the person and what is the motive of the person who has decided to send these emails. The person has still not been identified. The location
and
of that
would be very important to know, isn't it, Anshul? That how did this email be sent out, of this mass email to so many schools in one go, triggering such panic amongst parents and, just causing so much of stress amongst parents, students, the school authorities. The entire administration is out there trying to figure out the origin of this email that has been sent to over 60 schools. 60 schools is not a joke.
So yes, the number has increased now. What we have been told from the way of sources within the Delhi Fire Services is that the number has increased to 97. Till 12 p.m., 97 schools have reported that they have received these emails, and the Delhi Fire Service, the bomb disposal squads, and the Delhi Police are making sure that the entire search operation is carried out thoroughly. Even the last classroom is also checked so that nothing untoward eventually happens inside the schools, because safety and security of students is something that cannot be questioned. I'll just you can see in the visuals over here, the search operations have just ended over here. The last policeman who was present over here has just signed the book, and he is now returning from here as well. 97 schools have called in. Nothing has been found till now. It remains to be seen as to once the search operation ends, if at all anything will be found out. But yes, the manner in which the operations have been conducted and the manner in which the operations are going on, it is somewhere or the other coming up that this was an hoax email with the intention to create panic. Now, the next task in hand is something that is very, very crucial, is to identify the person who has sent this email out, and that is going to be a very uphill task because a lot of technology has been used by that person to send that email.
Absolutely. Stay on with me. And, Akash, while Anshul was giving us all that information, I'm also taking a look at all the kind of responses coming in on various parent groups and the kind of nervousness and panic. Obviously, panic-stricken parents wondering what's the next step to be done. Some of the parents now in offices, now they have to figure out how their kid will be picked up from school, how buses will be sent, when will the child come back home. Is that the sense that you're getting from the parents in the school where you're reporting from as well?
So parents were concerned, but as far as current condition is concerned, so it seems that it is in control. Two things that I want to talk about here, Avantika. One is COVID years. COVID years have taught us a lot many things, and these message system where school administration is sending you a message and then you are responding to those messages, and even the WhatsApp chats and messages. So these are because of the COVID years, because during that time we had the online classes, and this whole system was created at that time. Secondly, as far as the bulk messaging is concerned, so we have got a different world, altogether. On internet, we have several tools where you can just send bulk emails to different email IDs. As far as schools are concerned, so there are some sort of directories available where you can get all these email addresses, and probably that is used using VPN or proxy. As far as this particular school is concerned, once again I'll try to show you the visuals. It seems that it was just a precautionary measure, because you see there is no police personnel available, but yes, parents are there and school administration has asked them to take their children back home. You are seeing these visuals where these kids, these students are either from 6th, 7th, 8th classes, where they have their school bus, and via school bus they are going back to their home. Also, as far as the condition in the national capital is concerned, so Anshul was mentioning that 97 is the current number. At least 97 schools have received these threats, these emails, and Delhi police is definitely investigating the matter, and nothing has been found so far. But it is a matter of concern, because this is not the first time. In the past also we have seen several instances where schools have received such emails, such calls, and yes, till now it is believed that it was a hoax call, but investigation will lead us to the fact as to who was the person behind this particular incident, and what was his or her intention.
Absolutely. Stay on with me, Anshul Akash, getting us the very latest from outside two schools who also had who had received that bomb threat email. In fact, it's shocking. The number of schools who have received that email has now gone up to almost 70. We are keeping a very close track on the latest news and developments coming in. Panic-stricken parents rushing to schools, collecting their children from the schools. The schools also, I must say, have been very responsibly notifying all the parents and appealing to the parents to remain calm. They have taken a good control of the situation. Almost all the schools haven't really panicked. Nothing really has gotten out of order. So that is some good news coming in. A couple of reactions are also coming in on this breaking news, on this developing story. Let's just play them out.
कॉल मिली है कि जी यहाँ पे बॉम्ब थ्रेट का कॉल है, और हमने सभी जगह को अटेंड किया, सभी जगह भेजी है। पर कुछ स्कूलों से गाड़ियाँ वापस भी आना शुरू हो गए कि ये हॉक्स कॉल था, छोटे स्कूल थे, यहाँ उन्होंने देख लिया है। मुझे लगता है कि ये सारी कॉल जो है हॉक्स ही निकलेंगी। हर कॉल को अटेंड किया गया, हम किसी कॉल को चांस नहीं ले सकते हैं। अगर हमारे पास कॉल आ गया तो वी हैव टू अटेंड दैट कॉल। तो हमने सभी कॉल को अटेंड किया है, और सुबह से ही जो है ये करीब 8 बजे मेरे को सूचना मिली थी कि 7 करीब स्कूलों में कॉल आ चुकी है। तो तभी मैंने सारे स्टेशन, सारे अफसर को अलर्ट कर दिया गया था। सारे हमारे अफसर जो हैं अभी अपने अपने स्टेशनों पे हैं, अगर कहीं ज़रूरत पड़ेगी तो इमीडिएटली उनको मूव किया जा सके, और बाकी हमने सारे काम अभी पोस्टपोन किए हुए हैं टू अटेंड ऑल दिस कॉल।
देखिए, एक मेल के माध्यम से सूचना प्राप्त हुई थी कि डीपीएस में कोई धमकी भरा कार्य हो रहा है। उसके विषय में तत्काल सभी ऑफिसर्स मौके पहुंचे, जिसमें हमारी एएस चेक टीम, बीडीडीएस टीम के साथ साथ फायर ब्रिगेड और सीनियर ऑफिसर्स मौके पे हैं। सभी जो बच्चे हैं उनमें कोई इसी तरह की अवांछित वस्तु नहीं मिली है। फिर भी हमारी टीमें कंटिन्यू चेक कर रही हैं। हम इंश्योर कर रहे हैं कि कहीं पे कोई चीज़ ना हो।
Delhi Police's teams evacuating students from across schools here in Delhi-NCR. About 50 schools have received bomb bomb threats in Delhi-NCR, forcing students to be moved out of the school premises at the earliest. These schools are spread across Delhi, Noida, and other parts of Delhi-NCR. Most of them received emails which said that there was a threat. It turned out to be a hoax, but as a precaution, most of the schools sent back their students home early. This is not the first time that such an incident has been reported in Delhi NCR or in other parts of the country. Earlier also in Delhi schools, such hoax emails or phone calls were received, and it turned out to be somebody who was playing a prank. Similar incident happened in Bangalore also. So this is turning out to be a huge menace for the law enforcing authorities here. Essentially, what they are trying to ascertain is, as the investigation is proceeding, as to who really is sending these emails. What is it that the person who's sending these emails is wanting? Is there any kind of malafide intent, or is it just a prank, which is the worst kind of prank that one can think of? Police is trying to ascertain the IP address from where the emails really came.
Well, those investigations have already begun. And as Arunima rightly said, if this is a prank, it's really in bad taste. Over a 60, I think it's now, the number has even gone up. We're getting to hear from sources that around 100 Delhi schools have received that bomb threat email. And as we're seeing on the visuals as well, bomb threat, the bomb squad, teams of Delhi police, sniffer dogs have all been sent to all of these schools to check if at all there is a need to worry. Anvit joins us now on the broadcast. Anvit, over to you. What is the sense that you're getting from the ground? This bomb threat has, this email has reached to so many schools in the national capital and the adjoining areas, triggering so much panic and anxiety among the parents and the school administration as well.
Yeah, certainly. See, even if it turns out to be a hoax, the matter is of a grave concern, because all the departments have been roped in. Even Delhi Police's special cell, that is the anti-terror squad, has been roped in. The crime branch teams are also at squad, and even the cyber cell. They are also tracking the details of the email, that who has sent it. So we just spoke a short while ago with a senior officer in the cyber cell, and he said that we are still investigating all those news that are doing around, that some students have sent it as a prank, or some people might have sent it to create a disorder. All these news, he said that he repeated it all and saying that this could be rumor, because they have not reached out any conclusion as yet, and the investigations are still on. I am right now outside